Programme, I went to find out a bit more about a man called Peter Bruff, the forgotten engineer. Local firm Cat Marketing have teamed up with East Anglian Railway Museum and the Clacton and District Local History Society to create an educational experience for all ages in the area. Funding has come from the Greater Anglia Community Fund, and I went to find out a bit more about it. CO15, obviously, we've done the programme live from Jaywick. What a great insight it was to that part of the world. I've just actually moved up the coast a bit to Clacton, and I can see Clacton Pier looking glorious and resplendent, even though it's quite an overcast sunny day. Still quite mild though. There's still a few people milling around on the beach. You can probably hear the waves lapping over in the background, but not a lot of people down on the beach, or actually residents of Clacton will know that much of Clacton and the design and the pier itself is down to the work of one man a fair while ago. So let's find out a little bit more about him with my guest here. What is your name and where are you from?
So my name is Julian Read, and I'm from Cat Marketing.
And Julian, Cat Marketing are getting involved with a couple of local organisations to just promote Peter Bruff, aren't they? So do you want to explain a bit about that?
Yeah, so basically Peter Bruff is considered by many as the sort of father of modern day Clacton. So he, back in the 1800s, he bought the land either side of the pier and developed that land and created Clacton, started to create Clacton as we know it. So he was responsible for activity on the pier, he was responsible for the Royal Hotel, and much of the town that we know and love now has been built up from those early origins. But as you quite rightly said, not very many people, if you said Peter Bruff, would know much about him or what he did, and whereas he is actually the sort of forefather of Clacton and a lot of really important spaces around Clacton as well. So Chapel Viaduct was another one of his one of his projects. So really what we're calling the forgotten engineer. So Peter Bruff really was instrumental bringing the railways to us here, and such a key character. So,
and we're standing right now. This was his land. A lot of CO15 was what he owned. So not a lot of people know about it. What are you gonna do about it then? What's the hope?
Our intention, we're working in partnership with the Clacton Historical Society, and we're also working in partnership with the East Anglian Railway Museum, and we're doing a project in schools that will tie in STEM subjects with a national curriculum, but also bring in a bit of local history about Peter Bruff and the contribution that he made to the railways here, to the infrastructure here. And so those pupils in the schools will actually learn the man behind the roads that they walk on, the houses that they live in, the town that they call home, in the classroom, and in the context of how that relates to engineering, to the importance of creating the infrastructures that we live in. So we're looking to that project will start in September. So as the kids start coming back to school after the summer holidays, they're going to be starting to hear about that. It will be in Key Stage 1 and Key Stage 2 schools at the moment, but we're also looking for partners to extend that project into secondary schools and to further education facilities as well. So we can do live streams that distribute this information, presentations about Peter Bruff and the activities around Peter Bruff straight into the classrooms for those classes.
Yeah, we're near the hospital. I think it's a Peter Bruff ward at the hospital. I think I said a Peter Bruff road name up there, so his name's about, but not a lot of people know exactly who he is or what he does. What's the important thing? Why do you want to do this?
I think the most important thing really for us is understanding where our heritage comes from and really getting to grips with what is it where did all this start. So as we're walking around Clacton, we see it, we enjoy it, we see that experience, but there was origins to where all this came from, and I think it's really important still to understand that, particularly as a resident of Clacton. You want to know a little bit more of history, heritage, about who the people behind this town were, and we're hoping that will really sort of launch that idea with the introduction of Peter Bruff, the forgotten engineer. But so we're really excited about this project. I think it's really important for school children particularly to learn new things about engineering, and by doing that in the context of a local hero who is very much forgotten in not only locally but nationally because of the significance of the contribution that he made. We're just hoping to sort of redress the balance a little bit on that and make sure that people get to know what a significant and important character he was.
And you're still after schools to get involved. You know,
Yeah.
we don't really want to talk about the end of the 6-week holidays because they've just started. But you know, if any teachers are listening, because they never really switch off, they can get involved, can they?
Absolutely. So if the teachers that are out there looking to get involved in the project, please do call us or get in touch with CAT Marketing. You can email us at contact@catmarketing.co.uk, and that's cat with a K, so KAT for cat. And yeah, get in touch. There'll be plenty of information going out about this as you get back to this after your school holidays in September. The project will run through the autumn, but we're really excited to be a part of it. And equally, if there are other partners that want to be involved and support this really important local project to get the name out there of Peter Bruff, then we'd like to hear from them too. So yeah, come and be involved.
So that's why there's a Peter Bruff, I think it's a Peter Bruff Close or Way up in Clacton. That's who he was. There is a ward named after him at Colchester Hospital as well. Quite an important local figure and part of an educational programme being launched from September. That